There is no meaning to life without a challenge. And the symptom of greatness is to accept that challenge in a very sportive spirit. So many things keep happening in life. Let the small things pass by and focus on what's important.
I want to say one thing, just one. And probably this will change the direction of your life.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have an amazing gift inside you that I want to see explode out onto the world. Now, I started the Mentor Me series to try to hang around people who've done a lot more than us, and by spending a little more time with them, hopefully their mindsets, their beliefs, their attitudes, their way of seeing the world seep into us to help us become the best version of ourselves. So today we're going to learn from one of the best, Gaur Gopal Das, and how to stay motivated. Mentor me, Gaur. All right, let's kick things off with rule number 1, grow through challenges.
Challenges are such an integral part of growth in our life. For example, a teacher will always pose higher and higher challenges to the students. Anyone who's interested in physical fitness, the fitness coach, the trainer will pose higher and higher challenges, even in relationships for that matter. Life poses so many challenges. There is no meaning to life without a challenge. And the symptom of greatness is to accept that challenge in a very sportive spirit and learn how to grow deeper in whatever we are doing.
Rule number 2 is change your perspective.
Recently, a guy came up to me and was grumbling about all the problems, the troubles, the difficulties that he was going through. He had just recently lost his job for no reason. His relationships were in a deep mess. Nobody was trying to understand him. Everything was going wrong, and he had done nothing wrong. And all through the conversation, he kept asking me, why is this happening to me? I'm sure a lot of you can relate to the situation that this guy was going through. I told him, look man, do what you can do to sort it out. If it's your fault, correct it. If it's someone else's fault and that person is within your access, discuss with them, communicate to them. Very often, however, what we go through is neither our fault nor the fault of someone else. For example, a serious disease that we go through. We didn't do anything wrong to get it, and nobody else did anything wrong to have us get it. How do we deal with it? Here's what we do. A little boy once came running to his mother and asked her, "What are you doing, Mom?" She replied, "I'm making a beautiful embroidered design on this nice cloth." The little boy looked up to the cloth securely held in the wooden ring, the hoop, and complained, "A design? All I can see is just some colored threads, yellow, blue, red, black, pink, all tangled up, all messed up into each other, all complication, and you call it a design?" The mother picked up the little boy, put him on her lap, and said to him, "Now look at it, my son." And the boy saw a beautiful design, an incredible pattern, a systematic plan and a layout evolving on this cloth. The mother said to the boy, "When you look at the cloth from your side, all you see is a mess. When you look at the cloth from my side, all you see is a beautiful design, a pattern, a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, when we go through the helpless, overwhelming challenges in our life for no fault of ours or no fault of anybody else, and we cannot do anything to sort it out, if we see and look at it from our point of view, all we see is a mess. All we see is situations and events tangled up and jumbled up to create that mess. But when we look at the same situation from life's point of view, from God's point of view, we see a beautiful design, a pattern, a plan evolving in our life.
Rule number 3 is don't give in.
Do you know something? In the game of life, you're playing a cricket match against an entity called the mind. No one on planet Earth can stop you from accomplishing and achieving what you want if you can bat against the googlies that the mind bowls at you. How many of you have experienced that the mind bowls googlies? Good. When it comes to exercising and jogging, how many of you know that the mind bowls googlies? Majja. Soja. How many of you have trouble in studying? Raise your hands as students. My God. And you come here, you hear all of these things. Don't get distracted by WhatsApp. Don't get distracted by internet pornography. Don't get distracted by Twitter. Don't get distracted by Facebook. Study. Don't get distracted by birds to do bird watching. Study. All these distractions. इधर आके कुछ उपदेश देते हैं कुछ लोग साधु लोग आपको. उस पे बात भी फेल होता है. So one father was telling his son, देख तेरे क्लास में वो लूसी है ना, लूसी देख फर्स्ट आई है वो, और तू नालायक फेल हो गया. वो बोला देख के ही फेल हो गया मैं उसको. देख के ही तो फेल हुआ मैं उसको. I'll tell you something. My God. Why? Because the mind doesn't want you to win the game of life. How many of you wanted to wake up early in the morning? Raise your hands. Only wanted, I asked. Wanted to wake up early in the morning. And how many of you have done something called as setting an alarm clock? And then after setting the alarm clock, that's an alarm. Whether you want it or not, it rings. And when it rings, the mind puts its first googly. What does the mind do? By putting the googly, makes you clean bowled when you do the first snooze. You are out. You are out. If you snooze, you are out. I want to say one thing, just one. And probably this will change the direction of your life. You know something? When you snooze the alarm, what happens? You decide to give in to the mind's ball. And this is how your morning begins, by giving in to the mind. सवेरे की शुरुआत होती है इस बॉलर से क्लीन बोल्ड होके. आगे क्या मैच जीतेंगे? ये तो दिन की शुरुआत है, by giving in. And it's no problem giving in. Sleeping 5 minutes extra is no problem. The problem is you develop the attitude of giving in. You tell yourself that what I decided last night is not as important. What is important is what the mind says. Because we listen. I'll tell you something, my humble advice. Because it's not just about getting up in the morning, it's about every aspect of life. Whether it's your work, if you're working, whether it's your study, if you're studying, whatever we do. The problem is, it's not about one thing. सवेरे हो गया ना, it reflects in every area of life. इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ, अगर 4 बजे नहीं उठना, मालूम है ना अपने से नहीं होता, 4:20 का अलार्म लगाओ, लेकिन 4:20 को उठो. Don't allow that snooze.
Rule number 4, focus.
When one looks at the crane standing on one leg, completely focused into the waters, the crane with one pointed attention is looking at the waters as the fishes are swimming inside the waters. The crane will allow the tiny the small fish to swim around and not be satisfied with them. It'll allow the fishes, the small fishes, to go around and swim around. The crane will focus and wait for the big fish to come. If the crane settles with the small fish, it'll lose the big fish. And if the crane wants the big fish, it has to allow the small fish to pass by and go around. Similarly in life, when we want to focus on what is important, we should allow the small things to pass by. We shouldn't be distracted by the little things. Sometimes there'll be interpersonal issues and conflicts. Sometimes there'll be some health crises. Sometimes there might be a financial crisis. So many things keep happening in life. Let the small things pass by and focus on what's important.
And rule number 5, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is utilize the power of togetherness.
Recently, I was in San Francisco and one of my friends was driving me over possibly one of the most beautiful bridges in the world, but most certainly one of the most photographed bridge in the world, the Golden Gate Bridge. I was wanting to know more about the bridge. So at the end of the bridge, my friend stopped the car and took me to a spot where they had a cross section of one of the suspension cables and also other information about the bridge written there. The Golden Gate Bridge spans 4,200 feet. The suspension cable from where the bridge is suspended is 7,650 feet long and 3 feet or 36 inches in diameter. When I looked at the cross section of the cable, what was astounding to me was that this cable wasn't made in a single mold. This cable was made of 27,572 thin wires, all obviously 7,650 feet long. The Golden Gate Bridge was reiterating a very powerful principle to me: the power of togetherness. Not only does working together satisfy our heart, but working together can help us contribute something incredibly spectacular to serve the people of this world. Just as these 27,572 tiny wires together contributed a bridge for people to cross over a body of water. Moreover, these wires, thin wires, could never be able to bear the huge weight of the bridge and the weight of the cars commuting on the bridge by themselves. But together, they were able to handle so much pressure. They were able to handle so much weight. They were able to handle the adversities of weather, the frigid winters, the hot summers, the cyclones, the tornadoes, the hurricanes. I was astounded by this power of togetherness.
Now, I've got a very special bonus clip on how to find your drive that I think you're really going to enjoy. But before that, my question of the day for you is, I want to know, what is the biggest challenge that you have had to grow through? I would love to hear from you. Please leave it down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you soon, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I'm a simple, small person. In Sanskrit, there is a verse which says, Mukam karoti vachalam. Even a dumb man can speak. Panghum langhayate girim. Even a lame man can cross a mountain. Yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Gurum dinataranam. It's by the grace of Shri Guru and God that one can do what we are doing. And therefore, if you ask me what is my motivation to keep going, I don't even think I'm inspiring millions or crores, as you said. People are watching and people are hearing. It's not my knowledge. It's the knowledge coming from God. It's the knowledge coming from my Guru and so many other monks in the monastery from whom I learn. I simply act as a microphone. A microphone simply amplifies the voice of the speaker. So if there's something that's motivating people, it's not me. It's the knowledge and the power of that grace that is behind me, which is unseen to your eyes. You can't see that, but that's the life that I live. When you don't see me on screens, I'm in a monastery in a small little room. Every morning practicing my spiritual sadhana. Every morning connecting to God through the chanting of the holy names. Every morning I sit and listen to the other monks. I'm not only speaking, I sit there, I hear others, I learn from them. And I'm tremendously inspired by the picture that I showed you, Srila Prabhupada, his life. I'm tremendously inspired by his example. And of course my Guru Radhanath Maharaj, who tirelessly keeps on going and serving. If there's anything that motivates me, it's my chanting, it's my hearing, and it's the company of my Guru and other like-minded monks. That's what keeps me going. So if you have that company, you will also be able to do that.
Raise your standard.
Apple at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to see my all-time favorite top 10 rules of success, I have a very special secret video for you. These are the individual clips that I have personally learned the most from and applied to my life and my business. Check the link in the description for details.